Alright, here we're going to do 10.5 day 2 where we're coming up with equations of parabolas based on information. So let's say that we have the axis of symmetry is horizontal and we have a point at 8, -1, at 1, 0, and at -1, 2. Because the axis of symmetry is horizontal, that means that my parabola has to go somewhere like that. Now, it may not be exactly there, but it needs to go somewhere else. So we're going to use the following equation. Since it's a sideways one, you may be going the other way, of y squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0. So in my first point, which is 8, -1, I'm going to put in -1 squared plus 8 times d minus 1 times e plus f equals 0. Now, since -1 squared is equal to 1, I'm going to subtract 1 on both sides, and I get 8d minus 1e plus f equals -1. I'm going to do the same thing with the next point, which was 1, 0. So 0 squared plus 1d plus 0e plus f equals 0. Now, because 0 squared is 0, it just goes away, and here's my second equation. Here's my first equation. Going back to our last point of -1, 2, I have 2 squared minus 1d plus 2e plus f equals 0. Now, since 2 squared is equal to 4, and I wanted to get to the other side, I subtract 4, and so I got -d plus 2e plus f equals -4, and that's my third equation. Since we have our 3 equations and 3 unknowns, we are going to put this in a matrix that is 3 by 4. Instead of solving this by hand, we're going to let the calculator do all the work. So I got 8, -1, 1, and -1 because this is D, E, F answer. And we got 1, 0, 1, 0, and -1, 2, 1, -4. And that I put in for matrix A. Now, when we go back, we go to matrix, math, and we go to RREF, and then we go to matrix again, and we go to A. The reduced echelon form basically does all of our eliminations for us. And the answer we get is 1, 0, 0, -0.5, 0, 1, 0, -2.5, and 0, 0, 1.5. Since these came out as fractions, if you go back and you go math, enter, it'll give you the fractions, which may seem a little bit nicer. Now, since the starting equation we had was y squared plus dx plus ey plus f equals 0, here is d, here is e, here is f, so we got y squared minus 1/2 x plus, actually minus 5/2 y plus 1/2 equals 0. And that is the general equation for this particular parabola. So let's do another problem in which they give us different answers and different information. Let's say they give us the directrix is y equals 1 and the focus is at -1, -5. So we want to come up with the equation, and so I'm going to draw in a little directrix, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -1, -5 is the focus, and so I know this is going to open down because we always wanted this to go around the focus, just as an example, and we don't want to never cross the directrix and you go around the focus. So the question here is, what is the vertex? Well, if we take a look, the difference between the vertex and the directrix and the vertex and the focus should be the same. So this point up here should be -1 because the x value didn't change, 1 because it's on the line y equals 1. So what's in the middle of -1, 1, and -1, 5? Well, the -1 stays the same, and the y value, if I do -5 plus 1 divided by 2, that should give me -2. So since we have the vertex, we're going to have x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k. If we go back and look at the vertex of -1, -2, we're going to put those into our formula. So this is h and k. So x minus -1 is really x plus 1 squared equals 4p times y minus -2. Well, the two negatives make it positive again, and here's our start. Now, looking back, we want to figure out what p is. Well, p is the distance between the directrix and the vertex. So we either have p over here or p over here. And we know that p is going to be negative because it's open down. So, how far is it from -1, -2 to -1, -5? Well, distance between the two is 3, so that would equal p, except for we need p to be negative. So that means that p is equal to